I'm here today to talk to you about apprenticeships. So this is a pathway you may well have heard about, but possibly you have some more questions or some missing information that you need to be able to make those right choices for your future career. So I'm hoping this presentation, and together with a new resource from Springpod, is going to help fill in some of those blanks. So we're going to look at what apprenticeships are. So we'll think about how they're different from other pathways. We'll have a look at what kind of apprenticeships are available and what industries you might be able to work in. We'll have a think about why apprenticeships may be the right pathway for you and encourage you to reflect on your own choices. And then we're going to give you some top tips about where to find the opportunities and how to prepare. So firstly, what are apprenticeships? So apprenticeships are real jobs. So that it's a real job, but you're training and gaining qualifications at the same time. So you'll be able to gain that all important experience and learn the skills needed for a particular job whilst earning money. So you'll spend 80% of your time on the job and you'll spend 20% of your time off the job training. So anyone over 16 years can apply for an apprenticeship and complete an apprenticeship. So this is just a very short snippet of a video to give you a little bit more of an intro into what apprenticeships are.
What exactly is an apprenticeship? What opportunities do apprenticeships unlock? How do you find out what apprenticeship is right for you? An apprenticeship is a genuine job, combined with classroom-based training which allows you to earn while you learn. With a variety of opportunities in a range of industries, there's bound to be an apprenticeship for you. Your apprenticeship is designed to get you the right job at the right time, developing your skills to be career ready. Discover the world of apprenticeships and the exciting opportunities available to you. Powered by Springpod in partnership with the Department for Education, this introduction to apprenticeships will grant you the opportunity to learn the essentials, hear student stories, and unlock the potential to take control of your future.
So I will provide you a bit more information about those courses that you can take part in later on. But before we move on to the next section, just thought it might be worth having a slide on what all these levels mean. So you'll hear a lot of sort of terms when it comes to apprenticeships. So you might hear people talking about higher apprenticeships, degree apprenticeships, advanced apprenticeships, and intermediate apprenticeships. It can get quite confusing, but I think all you need to know at this stage is that whatever level, whatever stage you're at in your education, there'll be an apprenticeship that you can apply for. So you can see if you were at college or sixth form studying for A levels or a T level or a B Tech, your next stage after that might be to apply for a higher apprenticeship or a degree apprenticeship. So degree apprenticeships go right up to level 7, so go beyond an undergraduate degree. So it could, so they're at the same level as what is called a postgraduate. Um, so each level is going to have different entry requirements, and employers, of course, will set their own entry requirements. So not just linked to qualifications, but they'll also expect applicants to have certain skills and certain knowledge. So you might want to refer back to this, but as I say, in these interactive courses, you'll understand these different levels a lot more as well. So that is my brief overview of what apprenticeships are. So now let's have a look at what kind of apprenticeships you can do. So there is a huge range, way too many to list in terms of kind of where you could complete an apprenticeship. It could be linked to architecture, environment, business administration, care services, um, hospitality, creative. It's an endless list. There's a huge amount of apprenticeships that you could do. Some of these will be at different levels, and you'll be surprised at what perhaps some of these apprenticeships are available. So, for example, it may be that you're interested in working in law and becoming a solicitor. So there is an apprenticeship route that you can take for that. So sometimes you have a career in mind. You might not even know that actually there's an apprenticeship pathway available, as well as the traditional university route. So there really is a kind of nice wide range of sectors that you can go into. So 80% of the time you're going to be on your job, so working. So that could be that you're in an office, in a salon, in a shop, or in a sort of or even possibly working from home if it's if you've got what's called a hybrid role. So you could be working for one of these big companies, or which you can see the logos here, or you might find an apprenticeship in a kind of smaller or more local business as well. Um, a lot of these employers who offer apprenticeships also offer virtual work experience programs through Springpod. So that's a really fantastic way of finding out about the apprenticeships they might have on offer. We've got lots and lots of examples of young people who have completed a work experience with a particular company. So Airbus is a good example that here, where they've gone on to actually take up an apprenticeship at that company. So it really does make a big difference. Um, so for your training side of it, it could be that you're attending lessons at a college sort of once a week, or you could just have a study day at home, or if it's a degree apprenticeship, it might be that you're going to university either for, it might be a block of time. So they all vary slightly, but whatever way you're doing it, you're going to be working towards assessments. So, thinking about why an apprenticeship might be right for you. So, you really need to think about this. There's lots of benefits of apprenticeships. Um, Obviously, an obvious one, or the first one that everyone comes up with, is obviously you get paid. So, you'll have some money coming in and you get all the other perks as you would if you were any other employee, like paid for your paid holidays, etc. Obviously, you're learning on the job, so the training is included. You won't have any university debt. So if you go to university, if you're thinking about university, you'll start to learn about how you finance university. You have to borrow money through student loans. You don't have to pay any tuition fees if you're on a degree apprenticeship. Sometimes companies offer you nice little incentives or bonuses. They can be quite rare, but you never know. Sometimes they offer extra incentives for apprentices to start with them. They can have excellent career progression. So sometimes young people worry that as an apprentice, you're never going to be the same level as a graduate. Um, in actual fact, you'll be in a very good position because you'll have all of that work experience and the qualifications at the same time. So, in actual fact, that progression is very, very good if you go via the apprenticeship route. And as we've seen, there's a wide range available. However, these are things that you need to think about. I wouldn't say that, we're not doing a pros and cons here, but there are certain things that you need to consider. They can be very competitive, so there's not enough spaces for everybody. So you do have to compete in an application process. Um, some of the more popular apprenticeship programs can actually require very good grades if you are applying after sixth form or college, and the selection process can be quite intense and lengthy. So you have to be really prepared for that. Um, and the vacancies can come up at any time of the year. So that's always a bit of a challenge because you don't always know when the vacancies are going to come up. And if you're not on top of it, what would be really annoying is if you find the perfect apprenticeship and then find out the deadline was 2 months ago. So you do have to be totally on it and researching early. Are you an organized person? That is a key question because it can be quite hard to juggle all of your studies because you don't want to neglect your studies and as well as applications. So you'll be asked to go for interviews alongside revising for your exams. So you've got to, are you up for that basically? Are you up for kind of organizing yourself so you don't, get behind on your studies? Also think about, will you miss the college or university experience? So if all your friends are going off to college or university, will you miss that? That said, a lot of the companies that offer apprenticeships have fantastic social life or social activities arranged for apprentices. So you usually, if it's a big company, you'll start with a group of apprentices and you have lots and lots of support there. But it's not going to be the same as the university or college experience. One thing is obviously you're not going to get the nice long holidays. So will that be a bit annoying when all your friends have lots of long holidays and you'll be working throughout the year? So think about this. Possibly you may have to move away from home. So obviously it depends on which apprenticeship you're applying for, but you may find that you haven't got there isn't the apprenticeships local to where you live. So above all, think about what is right for you. This is, you that's got to do these, choose this route. So it's really important that you choose the right pathway for you. So how to find them? There's lots and lots of information about this in the courses I'm going to tell you about. But if you start now, that's even better. There's lots of tools that you can use. Like there's a Find an Apprenticeship tool on the government website, which is very good. You'll have these slides, so you can click on these links to link to the tools that I'm showing you here. There might be particular sector job sites. So if you think you might want an apprenticeship in the health profession, the NHS jobs is a great one. Maybe there's a particular employer in mind, so it might be worth going to their company websites and having a look to see if they've got apprenticeships there. Um, you have to be prepared to apply for more than one, so and have to be quite resilient in this process because sadly you possibly may receive rejection, so you have to be prepared for that. Have that plan B um, in mind. There's some really good opportunities on UCAS to explore different industries, and of course we've got the virtual work experience with Springpod, which are a really excellent way of connecting with different companies and perhaps joining what we call a talent pool where a company can keep in touch with you. So on to the courses that you might want to consider. So we've got some fantastic, if you want to find out a little bit more about apprenticeships, then we've got a really nice option for you here. So if I just click on this, so this takes you to the post 16 options part of Springpod, where you can complete short courses to really kind of go into a bit more depth about what I've spoken about. So you can see there's lots of case studies of students who have chosen apprenticeship routes, but basically all you'll need to do is to create a Springpod account up here, and then as soon as you've created an account you can just click start now, and that will be really, really incredibly useful for you to learn a bit more about this apprenticeship pathway. So hopefully we have covered everything we intended to. So we've given you a bit of an introduction, but as I said, I think for you to really learn about the apprenticeship pathway, I'd really recommend you complete those short courses, which will take no more than an hour. But by the end of it, you will know everything you need to know about apprenticeships. So that is it. So good luck for me, and I hope you enjoy exploring apprenticeships and choosing the right pathway for yourself.